All right, so the question was, how do you deal playing with somebody in your group that you don't like? And the question was followed up with, how do your competitors deal with playing with you? Now, I know the person saying this was joking, A, because I don't think you can find a player ever in 30 years who said they had a bad experience playing with me, but it's also my echo chamber, my Facebook page, so I'm pretty sure it was one of my friends messing with me. But I want to address that first. So the first thing is how to be a player that people enjoy playing with. And I think it comes down to one idea. My philosophy when I play is, if you were observing me playing, you should have no idea if I'm having the best round of my life, the worst round of my life, or anywhere in between. So it's real simple. I think I'm a nice guy, easy to get along with, I'm fun. Well, I'm going to be that person 100% of the time, regardless of how I'm playing. I have a responsibility to my group, to the other players, to not take away from their experience, especially at a big tournament where they might have spent money and traveled and trained for, and it's a really important thing. If I take away from them or their game, I suck. I'm horrible. So don't be that guy. I won't be that guy. So, but it's hard to like everybody. So you often get with people in your group that you're not the biggest fan of. How do you deal with this, right? Especially if you're on tour, you're not playing with the same guys every week. So the first thing is, when it comes to competition, you have to understand that if another player is not in your line of sight and they're not making noise while you're throwing, then they have zero impact on the success of your throw. Now you can actually make the case that they could be up front distracting you. If they don't actually hit your disc, they don't affect the throw. But we're human, so having distractions, I think it's understandable. Noise, visual distractions, they distract most of us. So, but if that's not the case, and most players, that's not the case, they don't affect your throw. Zero impact whatsoever. So I don't care if I like that guy or dislike the guy. I don't care if that person wants to start talking politics and religion with me to start a fight. I don't care if that person wants to play mental games with me, try to psych me out. It's irrelevant. They cannot affect my throw, ever. So they can't affect my throw. And in fact, players that, if I believe they're trying to play mental games with me, because we all know people that try to play mental games, that's a good thing. I actually think that's great, because the minute they're playing mental games on me, they're afraid of me. Now, I've gotten older, it doesn't happen as much anymore, but back when I was touring and competitive, players would do that, and I took that as a compliment. I took that to mean they're worried that I'm going to beat them, they're worried that I'm better than them, they're worried I'm going to make that shot. And in my mind, the second they're thinking about me and my game and not them and their game, I have a competitive advantage. So whenever they started doing that, I didn't get upset that they were trying to play mind games with me. Actually, it was like, like in my mind, I've got them beat already. So if someone is actually purposely trying to affect your game, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Let them do it. Let them focus on you. Then beat them. Now, that's an easy way to say that they can't affect how successful you are. Now, will they affect how much fun you have? Well, yeah, certainly being around people that aren't fun takes away from the enjoyment of the game. Obviously, spending 2 hours with someone you don't like, no big deal. Here's what I do. I don't ever go into a round of disc golf trying to dictate what that round's going to be like. Sometimes you have a round where everybody's highly competitive, they're not talking much. Other times you have a round where everybody's joking. Sometimes you have a round, anywhere in between. And I don't feel like I can dictate by myself what happens to the group. And in fact, if I set expectations on the group is going to often let me down. So for example, if I think to myself, this is serious, this is the memorial, I got to be in my game, I don't want any chit chat, I don't want any joking. Well, that will work some of the time when the group agrees with me, but the group dictates the mood of the group. If the group's not doing that and they're not in that place, now I'm getting upset. So I don't think that's the way to do it. Instead, I tend to think I'm going to adapt myself to the group and let the group dictate where it's going to be. And I'm going to be fine wherever the group takes me because I have no expectations. So if the group wants to goof around, have fun, I'm going to goof around with them. Can I play good golf when people are goofing around? Well, can you play good golf at league sometimes, right? When people are goofing around having fun at league night? Of course you can, absolutely. Can you play good golf when the group is being serious? Well, we've all taken the game serious and had good rounds as well. So it doesn't matter what they do, just go along, go with the vibe, go with the group, don't try to force your agenda on them, and if there's someone you don't like, don't let it bother you. Final thought, if someone really is starting to annoy you, just grab someone else in the group, pair off with them, buddy up with them, chit chat with them. Just stay away from the person. If they're really bugging you, hang out with someone that's not bugging you. Maybe even somebody that has the same feelings about the person you do. So when they start acting like a goof, you can kind of look at the other person and like raise their eyebrows and laugh at them. That's my advice.